Welcome everybody. So sit around the campfire, grab a snack, and listen to me while I tell you the story of the epic war. Our story begins not with a bang, but with a fire. In the year 1729, a young boy named Ben watched the world turn to ash as his parents were murdered by the state. In the embers of his grief, he found something not of this world, alien technology, that granted him the power of a god and the curse of immortality. He slaughtered the government and hid the island of Gollam from every map on the planet, and began a reign of silence that would last centuries. Many tried to break the silence. In the early years, a woman named Francesca led the first secret rebellion. She was brave, but bravery is a little match for God's machines. Her rebellion failed, becoming first of many ghosts to haunt the island. By 1965, a man named Matt took up the mantle after his own father was taken. He recruited a young Patrick, but the cost was high. They lost their general comrade in the very first raid. Chapter 1: The Crystals and the Creative. Years later, a new hero emerged, Matio. He was a man thrust into a nightmare of void creatures and shadows. He discovered the magical crystals, the only light capable of piercing the dark. But the shadow evolved. A zombie outbreak gripped the land, turning brother against brother. Matthew fought not just for survival, but for Ashley. From the shadows, Ben watched through cold glass. He saw a face he recognized, a woman who should have been a memory. Ben, a cold whisper, he said. It's really her, he said. She's back from the dead. Chapter 2: The Night of the Three Sorrows. The rebellion made its final push into the heart of the government base, but the price of entry was paid in blood. First fell Paul. He had found the ammunition they so desperately needed, but as he turned to share the news, Ben's blade found his back. Ben, hissing at him, saying we were never friends. He left Paul to die in the cold corridors. Then came a swarm at the foot of a rusted ladder. The monsters closed in. Matio, the man whose laugh could brighten the darkest bunker, stayed behind as his friends climbed to safety. A beast dragged him into the fray. Matthew could only watch from above. The boy he went to school with was being torn apart by beasts. He heard him screaming his name, Matthew, please help me. But he couldn't do anything. He said that tears streaming down his face, whispering the code 1857 as he dropped the bomb. Matio's light flashes through Matthew's eyes. The ocean sunset, his own face smiling. He saw all of that. The bomb turned the room into a tomb. In that moment, he realized he killed Matio. Matio was gone. Desperate to reach the upper levels, the survivors dashed across a massive industrial bridge. Suddenly, a whistle pierced the air. A rocket shrieked toward them, shattering the stone and metal beneath their feet. They plummet into the dark sewer, saved by an only miracle waterbed. Finally, at the edge of part 1, the group was concerned. The masked man stepped forward, his eyes fixed on Matthew. He shifted his aim to Sergeant Jake, the sharpshooter who could hit a target from miles away. With a single cold crack of a pistol, Jake fell. Matthew's world went black as he was dragged into the dark. Chapter 3. The 17-hour fall. Matthew awoke, cuffed to a lamp post, his heart heavy with the weight of his fallen brothers. He blamed young David for their failure. And the madness of the night fight, he hunted the boy, a killer's intent. But Ashley, his light inverted because she had no kills to her name. The government marked her for death. In their final moments, she chose to save Matthew. They shared one last kiss before a bullet claimed her. Matthew was left with nothing but a promise of vengeance. Jimmy, Matthew's old friend who went to go retrieve help from the US Navy, he led the new US Navy to the Gollam Island and the armies of the world. The war for Gollam reached its peak at the reactor core. Matthew found Ben, the boy from 1729, and set Trian's immortality ablaze before finishing with a final shot with a flamethrower. Matthew, realizing that he blocked his only exit, sets off a bomb which will go off in an hour. And he looked at the cameras which had the world watching. And he stood at the edge of the platform looking at the world from cameras. In the broadcast, everyone was watching, saluting him. Matthew stood at the edge, seeing humans hold life at gunpoint. It's your choice to pull the trigger. He stands up straight and leans back. He leaned into the void to his death. An hour after that, the island was silent. Everyone escaped. The beep from the bombs could be heard from all over the island. 10 seconds until bombs goes off. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The island went up in flames. 3 weeks later, the silence returned to Gollam, but it was a peaceful one. A memorial rose where Matthew fell. The buildings were rebuilt, and years later, David stood as first elected president of a free Gollam. Jimmy, having moved away but still visiting in every now and again, sent a letter that David and Caleb could read together. The letter said, "I wanted to congratulate you both. We have all suffered so much during the war, but we must live on to make those deaths count." Caleb took those words to heart as he sat at a desk with the most careful handwriting. He began to write. He wrote of the old Gollam and Ben's tragic past. He wrote of Francesca's courage and Matio's laugh. He described the way Ashley could caught Ashley's hair and the way Sergeant J could hit a target from a mile away. He wrote Matthew's heroic sacrifice so that it would be a crime to ever forget. They released the book, a promise to the dead that they would live well. You're finally awake. Did you have a nightmare about war? I get those too. Someday, I'll tell you all about it. And why all wars will never stop.
Welcome to your life. There's no turning back. wants to rule the world.
My head hurts. Oh, who are you? I'm Grace. I was managed to save your life from death. I saw